Niger coup leaders have suspended the constitution and declared the head of the Presidential Guard, General Abdurrahmane Chiani, as the country's new leader. Chiani on Friday met with ministers and urged them to cooperate with the new regime. The military coup leaders have also banned demonstrations. A group of soldiers late on Wednesday announced that President Mohamed Bazoum had been removed from power. The move has received widespread international condemnation, with world leaders calling for the release of Bazoum. West Africa's regional bloc, ECOWAS, is scheduled to hold an emergency summit on Niger in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, on Sunday. CGTN's Joy Kiruki Juma has the details.
Those behind the military coup call themselves the National Council for the Safeguard of the Homeland, or CNSP. An army spokesperson on state television issued a warning against any foreign military intervention.
Despite the measures taken by the CNSP to ensure a rapid return to normalcy, certain former dignitaries, holed up in chancelleries in collaboration with the latter regime, have adopted a confrontational approach with a view to extracting the failed authorities. This belligerent, dangerous and purist attitude will only result in the massacre of the Niger population and chaos. Thus, the CNSP calls national and international opinion to bear on the consequences that will result from any foreign military intervention.
An introduction of the new man in command, General Abdurrahmane Chiani. Chiani formerly led President Mohamed Bazoum's Presidential Guard.
Le mercredi 26 juillet 2023,
Nigerians, my dear compatriots, on Wednesday 26 June 2023, the Defense and Security Forces of the National Council for Safeguarding the Homeland, CNSP, put an end to the regime of the Seventh Republic. The CNSP's action were motivated by the sole desire to preserve our beloved homeland in the face of the declining security situation, with no real solution to the crisis in sight from the ousted authorities and poor economic and social governance.
Chiani has called on international partners to cooperate with the new regime.
With regard to the international community, the National Council for Safeguarding the Homeland reaffirms its determination to respect all international commitments subscribed by the Republic of Niger, as well as human rights. I also call on Niger's technical and financial partners to understand our country's specific situation and to provide all the necessary support to enable it to meet their challenges.
It was not immediately clear whether Bazoum was still being detained at the presidential palace. Bazoum has yet to formally surrender power. Calls for his reinstatement have been echoed by many foreign governments, including the US, Russia and the European Union. ECOWAS has condemned the events in Niger and called for the unconditional freeing of the president with immediate effect. Joy Kiruki Juma, CGTN.
Well, let's go to Niger's capital, Niamey, where journalist Gary Amadou is joining us live via Skype. Gary, if you can hear me, what is the latest on the situation in Niger right now? And do we know where the ousted President Mohamed Bazoum is at the moment?
Yeah, we can say that the situation is calm right now because since yesterday, when the new head of state, made a statement or let's say a declaration saying that he is the new ruler, the situation is calm, and I think that right now we can say that President Bazoum is also in the camp of presidential guard. He's in the camp, but he's not like let us say a prisoner like people think. He is not under authority of presidential guard because he's protected by his bodyguards in another part of the presidential guard camp. So it is a big camp, but the problem is that the presidential residential home is in the camp. So now he's protected by his bodyguard, and he cannot move from his place to another place. What he's doing is to communicate with the people, to communicate with some head of state, and in the regional area or continental or in the rest of the world. But he cannot move. He is the kind of a very strange prisoner who is free in the camp of presidential guard.
Right. So how much can you tell us about General Abdurrahmane Chiani, who has now been declared as the new head of state? And what is the relationship between his team and the country's army?
Yeah, Abdurrahmane Chiani was, the head of presidential guard, from the beginning of the first term of the former president Issoufou Mahamadou to the second term. So, during 10 years, he was the head of, let's say, presidential guard. He was the president. So after the end of the term, the second term of Issoufou Mahamadou, convinced Mohamed Bazoum to keep this guy because he said that this guy is very honest and he's be loyal, so he can protect you. He's the best guy to protect you. That's why President Bazoum kept him, and he protected Bazoum during 3 years till the coup that he made 3 days ago.
So has the new leader announced any plans for what will happen next? Will he retain the current cabinet, for instance?
No, there is no plan. There is no plan. What he did is that yesterday he met with the Secretary General of Ministries, and he asked them to go on and to, let's say, to continue dealing with all of the issues, and to, let's say, to manage ministries. Until we have a new government. But the situation is that there is a very, 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 very big threat, because we have a threat of, let's say, ECOWAS, we will have a meeting tomorrow, and we have also the threat of United Nations Security Council. We have the threat of European Union. So, people are afraid of invasion of external forces. To restore democracy and to restore President Bazoum in his mandate, in his term. So this is the situation in which people are living. The fear of intervention of international community forces.